part 2 of love. All you need is love. I say part 2, that implies there's a part 1. If you haven't watched part 1, go watch part 1. Real quick review on what exactly we're talking about. We're talking about the 4 loves, and the 4 loves, the 4 different types of love that we have. Just real quick, what are they? 4 different types of love. So we've got Storge, which is kind of affection or a familial feeling that you have for your family. We've got Philia, which is friendship, and there are 3 different types of friendship. Friendship of utility, friendship of pleasure, and the friendship of the good. You've got Eros, which is romance, the passionate love that everybody sings and writes and talks about. And we've got Agape, which is ultimate sacrifice, ultimate self-gift. Now that you remember what those 4 are, we're going to talk about the implications and just kind of how knowing these 4 types of love can reform our view of love, and kind of how the lack of understanding of these 4 types of love has had radical problems, has caused problems in society. First one we're going to start with is Storge, and if you recall, in my first video I said the Storge is a basis of all the other love. So if you get this one wrong, you're kind of going to get the other ones wrong as well. And now Storge is it's the connection you feel with people who are familiar with you, people that you live with, people that are just around you a lot. And if you look at our culture today, people are constantly moving, constantly doing things here, there, everywhere, moving in just within their own lives of being busy, and then also people can just totally move to the other side of the country for whatever reason. And because of this constant changing and movement and just busyness, even in the family life, the family isn't together, families don't eat meals together, they're like soccer, baseball, football, dance, piano, like everywhere. People don't know how to just be together as a family and have that close connection and bond that you would have if you had family time and if you kind of lived together. And because of this, we don't have this basis, this natural foundation of love that you should have in the family. And if you tear the family apart, you're going to tear society apart. John Paul II says that, and other people say that, I'm sure, too. It's kind of just, I think we can tell, as the family breaks down, society breaks down. Because if you don't learn how to love in your family with this just basic, almost easy way to love, then everything else is going to fall apart too. Next one, Philia. Now I could do a whole thing, and probably will do a whole thing, on Philia and friendship, because I love this topic so much, and it's so important in today's culture. And in today's culture, in order to bring back what we really need in culture, which is community. And now, community doesn't necessarily equal friendship, but it kind of helps. If you think about today's definition of friends, like literally being a friend is if you follow somebody on Facebook, follow somebody on Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. Basically, friendship is this. Well, we count as friendship as more like an acquaintanceship of just kind of knowing somebody, maybe hang out with them a little bit, that kind of thing. We count that as friendship, and it's a very surface level thing. But if you look at what true friendship is, and this is why you have to watch my previous video, if you look at what true friendship of the good is, that it just goes so much deeper than that. Aristotle, an ancient Greek philosopher, he said friendship, a friend is two friends are a single soul dwelling in 2 bodies. Now that is not exactly correct. The correct way to describe it just doesn't work that way, like philosophically. But what he means is that friends are so close that there's this intimacy. And the fact that we don't understand this leads to another problem, which is the fact that since people don't know what friendship is, if they feel this love for a person, if they feel philia for a person, they think they're attracted, same-sex attraction. Because they don't know what friendship is, and so they automatically, people only really know Eros. Love equals Eros, and so if they feel any type of love and connection with this person, they automatically just think it's Eros. But philia is this deep intimacy and this deep just restfulness with being able to just rest with this person. And so they think that it's same-sex attraction, and it's not. It's friendship. It's true friendship, not just what people think is friendship. And another, so kind of another piece of philia that I want to talk about is with friends, you should just be able to kind of like chill together, rest together. But people don't understand the concept of rest and recreation. If you look at the word recreation, it's literally recreation. Recreation. Being recreated so that you can, like, renewed in spirit. And you should kind of like chill with your friends, have fun, those kind of things. But people don't have time. Friendships take time. People don't have time. Like I said with Storge, they're constantly moving, like within their lives, and then moving across the country, and just you can't develop friendships if you're constantly moving like that. And you know, here in college, we're stuck together, and so we kind of we're constantly working too with school, but then sometimes we just take times. We're like, you know what, we're done, we need a break. And literally we played like random games that you associate with little kids. Like we played sardines, we played manhunt, we were just playing these random games running around campus, and it was great. And so just having those times to just chill with friends, people don't have that time. And without friendships, you're gonna go nuts. Number 3, Eros. Eros, the romantic, passionate love that basically is everything to some people. I'm mainly going to focus here on the fact that Eros is it's a feeling. Part of the definition of Eros is the fact that it's a fleeting feeling and it changes. And people don't realize that about Eros, and they think that once the feeling's gone, well, I guess I don't love you anymore, so we're breaking up. We're getting divorced. Like, it's just caused so much brokenness in the world, but people don't realize that Eros is a feeling, and so it needs to have the underlying foundation of Storge and Philia and Agape. Like everything, it needs to have a foundation because it's a feeling. And so but the fact that people just, okay, I don't feel it anymore, I guess I don't love you, peace out, that's caused so much pain, and people don't know, and it causes so much pain in relationships and in family, and it's just a mess. Like I said, if you don't have the family, society breaks down, and that's what's happening because people don't understand what Eros is. And the last one, Agape, the kind of the culmination and the crown of all loves, because it's supernatural. The other 3 are natural, but this is supernatural, and it culminates because it's this just outpouring of self-gift and self-giving, and it's totally other-oriented. I want to give everything to you, and it's elements of sacrificing that people don't understand anymore. Our culture is so focusing in on me, and it's all about me, and about my job, and about what I want, and about my kids, and my house, blah, blah, me, I. People only know the first person. They don't know they only know I. They don't know he, she. They don't know the other person. They don't know you. And so people don't know how to sacrifice and how to give anymore. And of course, if you don't know how to do that, everything else is just going to fall apart, because ultimately love is self-giving. And there's always an element of self-giving in any of the loves, and Agape is all about that. And without this ability to self-give, just society can't function, because if society is not individual is one person, society is multiple people. So if we're not going to be connected, if we're not going to have a relationship, then forget it. It's just going to fall apart. Last thing, just to wrap up this video, is this awesome quote by C.S. Lewis that I absolutely love so much. This is, I'm pretty sure, part of his book, The Four Loves, that this whole thing is basically based off on. Okay, but I'm reading it from a piece of paper that I got from my religion teacher. There is no safe investment. To love at all is to be vulnerable. Love anything, and your heart will certainly be wrung and possibly be broken. If you want to make sure of keeping it intact, you must give your heart to no one, not even to an animal. Wrap it carefully round with hobbies and little luxuries. Avoid all entanglements. Lock it up safe in a casket or a coffin of your selfishness. But in that casket, safe, dark, motionless, airless, it will change. It will be broken. It will become unbreakable, unpenetrable, irredeemable. And the alternative to tragedy, or at least to the risk of tragedy, is damnation. The only place outside of heaven where you can be perfectly safe from all the dangers and perturbations of love is hell. That, I know it's a really, really heavy quote, and kind of just something. I was listening to a podcast last night, and shout out to Catholic Stuff You Should Know, best podcast ever. You should go listen to them, because if you like what I'm talking about, you will love some of their topics. But it's by four priests, and one of the priests said last night, if you can't trust anybody, if you can't trust anybody, you can't grow. You stay small. In order to grow and to mature, you have to love, and love takes risk. And they were talking about how this precisely this thing, people get hurt, people don't trust others, and they just kind of close in on themselves. And it's hard, and I know it's hard, that it's hard to take that risk, to go and love the other. But another quote that I got from this podcast is, you can't have a crisis of faith without a crisis of love, because love and faith are so intertwined. And obviously, especially with the natural loves, you can still love on a natural level without faith. But if you really want to go and soar, you have to have faith, and you realize that love and faith are so closely intertwined that if the love disappears, then your faith is also going to be shaken, because they're so close together. I'm just putting it out there, putting this stuff out there. I love this this topic, but putting it out there, meditate on it, see how you can use it in your life to, see how you can use it in your life to work on your relationships. Tell other people about it. Always tell other people about stuff in Catholicism, because, it's good, it's true, it's beautiful, and it's all with capital letters, the truth. Granted, this is all just ancient Greek stuff, so if they say, oh, you're just being religious, then tell them it comes from ancient Greece. Okay, that's what I got for today. So get holy and have fun doing it.